Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today of older women dropping devastating truth bombs on modern dating, okay? A lot of these women are getting older and then they're crying and complaining because men aren't around anymore. They failed to have families, they failed to have kids, and now they're upset. Let's jump into it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
It's been almost 4 years since I completely uprooted my life.
It's about being older and being single and not having children.
Because I don't even have a person to get pregnant with.
A few weeks ago, I suffered a mild heart attack. I didn't think I was going to make it, and it was just disheartening to not have anybody there.
Yeah, we made it to the end and it didn't happen.
Sure, I could go get pregnant on my own or like get a donor, but I don't want that. I want to have a baby with the person that I love.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present ourselves.
Here's something men need to understand about women over 50. We don't care about you.
Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash.
And I will be 42 in a month.
I am 50 years old, so I'm 46 years old, and men my age just don't seem to like me.
Like, it is rough.
I just feel incredibly lonely.
Guys, I have no sympathy for women who get to this age and then they want to cry about how they feel lonely and they're sad because they couldn't have a man to have a family with. Let's not kid ourselves here, guys. These women have had plenty of options throughout their entire lives with men, but they refused to quote-unquote settle because they thought that they were better than the average man. So now we end up with these TikTok videos of these women crying and complaining because men don't want them. But they had literally decades, which they threw away chasing chads, chasing dudes who are highly attractive, and now they don't have a family. To be honest, guys, they did this to themselves.
There are a lot of women, 5-10 years post-divorce, that I've spoken to that have told me, I regret leaving him. I regret breaking up with him.
Every time I hear a woman complain about her baby daddy, in particular black women that complain about her baby daddy, the first thing I say is, you chose him. You chose him.
And you might be saying, well, you chose this, so, you make your bed. And I get it. I did choose it.
I'm just questioning life, and I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they've made all the wrong decisions in life.
I don't have space to show up as the best mum that I can show up as. I'm less nurturing, I'm less accepting, I'm less patient.
Nobody wants to hear this, because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It's not. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one.
I felt I had been kind of lied to by the culture. The idea that I could fuck my way to empowerment. This idea.
It is crazy to me, guys, how women will get in this position after decades of screwing around with bad boys and then try and paint themselves as the victim. Oh, I was lied to, I was tricked, womanism sold me a lie. And let's be honest, okay? Womanism is selling women a lie, but I don't particularly empathize with you when you believe that lie, especially for decades, because these are women who have told men that we were not needed. I don't need no man. I'm strong and independent. I'm going to chase my career over a family. I'm not feminine whatsoever. And then they cry and complain when the dudes don't want them. Also, a lot of women who do go out here and have these families and get married and things like this, they end up leaving the man anyway and trying to steal his money. So there isn't a lot of incentive for dudes to get with them in the first place, let alone when they become like 40 and 50 years of age. Guys, I am totally, what's the word I'm looking for here? Desensitized to the cries of these modern women. I simply do not care. And I think a lot of men feel the same way. They don't care. They don't empathize with you because, again, these are the men who you completely ignored until you were 50 anyway. Most of these women, guys, overlook the average man. They do not care about him.
Lied to by the culture. The idea that I could fuck my way to empowerment. This idea that, you can sleep your way to feeling like a girl boss.
The boss
once you have, as a woman, you have children, your life is like, yeah, work is important. It's not my main focus. When I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to go, I'm happy I worked a ton. It's not, it doesn't carry as much weight.
My health has failed me, and who's going to be there for me?
I just made a $27 ebook.
Oh, for goodness sake, why do I always forget? You know what? I actually do change the account, but every time between videos, it just changes back.
Women over 50.
So annoying. Alright, where the hell were we here? Where were we?
Guys, the truth truly hurts when... Yes guys, the truth truly hurts when talking about older women revealing their true dating experiences instead of the feminist propaganda plastered all over social media.
Good morning everyone. So I haven't done an update in a bit on the dating in your 50s. So much fun. I'm having such a fun time.
Yeah, all of these women, you know what's funny? They completely fail with dating throughout their entire lives, okay? They divorce their husbands, they ruin their families. And then a good portion of them, I swear, they just become TikTok dating coaches and they try and sit here and encourage other women to make the same terrible decisions that they have, right? And they perpetuate the exact same lie that they believed to other women, and then they ruin the lives of other women. Okay, this is the dating advice that women are given on TikTok, guys. You go look at dating advice for women. It is absolutely horrible. It will ensure that no self-respecting man ever wants them. They will be single and alone when they are 30. They will collect the cats nice and early, and then they'll end up in the exact same situation that these women are. And these women will try and convince you that they are happy and they are having a great time. Sorry, don't believe it.
Update in a bit on the dating in your 50s. So much fun. I'm having such a fun time.
So then you tell yourself, you know, it's okay, I'm strong, I'm happy, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, right. Please drop a like on the video if you think that people that are constantly screaming at you about how happy they are probably lying, and comment down below what you think. Currently, social media is flooded with women claiming it's wonderful to be old and single.
Yeah, look at this, right? Just before we continue the video, okay? People think that we cherry pick these videos, for example. This guy's showing 3 here. We've got one that has 2,600 views here, 3,800, 281,000 here, 50 plus is the new 20. Hashtag divorce. So divorced woman trying to convince you that she's having a great life. And these are just 3 videos, man. Just 3 videos, and one of them has over 250,000.
Because it aligns with the narrative of women not needing men. But when you ask real women that don't want to sell you a course or some dating consultancy service on how life actually is.
Wait. We have to go back to this. What did this say? Guys, you've got to... What is this? Certified life and empowerment coach for smart professionals who struggle with love. That is hilarious. Life and empowerment coach. Guys, this is what I'm telling you, okay? I meme on this channel about, you know, if you want to make a lot of money, just become like a dating coach for women. Call yourself a certified life and empowerment coach and start selling them like overpriced courses. You'll make an absolute bag, guys. Thank me later. Like, what the hell is this, man? 51,000 followers, 281,000 likes on her videos. I mean, peak comedy right there. Life and empowerment coach. That is a new one. I've seen there's like a femininity coach or something. Dark femininity coach or something like that. Always the most hilarious bios they have.
Dating consultancy service on how life actually is, then it would tell you a completely different story.
This whole dating thing, especially at my age, over 50, is just bullshit.
Yeah, the reason why it's BS is because you shouldn't be doing it in the first place, by the way.
I wonder if I have lost the ability to connect, you know, having been single a long time, dated a lot, like, have I lost that ability?
Yes. So when women hit 30 and they're like, oh, I'm not married, I don't have kids, they definitely go through this panic.
It's hard to get a guy to even get to the point of actually going on a date or meeting for the first time.
You see, I already proved this massive discrepancy between the false narrative and the real-world experience when it comes to women getting older and continuing to date in my age of desperation preparation video linked up here, where I went into the lies of egg freezing. When you ignore the social media hype and just look at the actual numbers, things start to look a lot more depressing, and women are not freezing their fertility at all.
I really...
Yeah, so basically women get lied to here as well. Okay, a lot of them think, well, I'm 30, but that's alright, I'm just going to go and freeze my eggs. Success rate of 18%, 30% with frozen donor eggs. So it's not as if this is a surefire thing. Okay, so women go out here and they're like, well, I can have a few more years of screwing around. So what? I haven't found my Prince Charming yet. I'll just pay to have my eggs frozen. Nope. Good luck with that.
Look a lot more depressing, and women are not freezing their fertility at all.
I really thought this process would like slow down my biological clock and I wouldn't feel as much pressure. And I feel way more pressure now.
And now we are seeing real-world proof of this from Coco Beauty, where she had a complete mental breakdown when she tried to go freeze her eggs and found out that she's close to being infertile and that it might never work.
I've been like crying the entire day. And you know, people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very alone, lonely.
You see, she's yet another victim of the feminist propaganda machine that she herself is actually guilty of participating in.
Yeah, so check this out, okay? So this is another one of these dating coaches, by the way. No to walks and coffee dates as options, so she won't let you take her out on a walk or a coffee date, guys. And most of her videos don't get that many views, it looks like. 431, 1300, things like this. But her pinned ones, so she has 3 pinned here. 3.6 mil, 4.3 mil, and then probably another one up here with a few million on it as well. This is what I'm saying, man. People think that these sorts of attitudes that these modern women have, it's just like, oh, it's only a few women on TikTok. No, there are a lot of women who watch this content who totally agree with it. So, you know, dating attitudes, completely horrendous. And also, one other thing I want to point out before we continue, these women, when they put on their crying show, right, and they're panicking because they're not going to be able to have kids, what do you guys think happens, by the way? One of two things happens. Number one, they will just become infertile and they won't have a family. Or number two, they go out here and they desperately try to start having children. And what this means is some poor sucker is going to have kids with this woman, and then she's going to eventually leave him anyway. Because make no mistake, guys, these women who go out here and try and find a man to have kids with, they don't stay with him. They have no pair bonding ability whatsoever. They have been with too many dudes to be able to make that relationship work. So some poor guy has kids with her because he thinks that it's finally his turn. Then the kids get stolen from him. He's forced to pay child support. He's forced to pay her. The family's broken. And then she resumes doing exactly what she was doing that landed her in this situation in the first place. And then they wonder why dudes don't want to date them. Well, let's keep going.
So we're going in deeper, starting with first the hypocrisy and lies of older women contradicting themselves, then following up with the problems of older women dating younger men, and finishing with the grand finale of older women creating single mothers out of their own daughters to then blame the whole disaster on, of course, men.
Yeah, of course, it's always our fault. Let me just show you guys as well. So a lot of her videos don't get that great views, you know, a couple thousand or things like this. But I believe there was a few in here, so every now and then, if we go back, there's a few that, yeah, see this one has 185,000. I think I saw another one that had like 50-something thousand on it as well. So these women pump out these videos, man, and over time they get lots and lots of views, even if not every single one is an absolute hit. Yeah, 51,000 up here as well. This one, ironically enough, you can't rush into choosing, and of course that's going to be, you can't rush into choosing a man. Maybe now you'll have to. So let's keep going.
Classic. So first up is this lovely lady who is a certified jaded man-hater, and this becomes very clear very quickly when you listen to her talking about older men dating younger women.
The only kind of men that date and marry women that are substantially younger than them are insecure men. These are men that
want to exploit women, that want to dominate women.
Okay, so clearly older men dating younger women is bad. That's her stance, right? Now let's see what she thinks about older women dating younger men.
Let's talk about older women who date younger men, and I am one of them.
This woman makes a whole video vilifying men that date younger women, but it turns out she's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, of course, it's not a problem when women do it, right? But if men do it, then all of a sudden we're the problem. And also, there are a few reasons why men choose to date younger women, or they prefer to date younger women. Ironically enough, you're an example of exactly why men prefer not to date older women. Because you come with a lot of baggage. Oftentimes, they're mean-spirited. They don't have as much of an ability at all to pair bond anymore. You can't have a long-lasting relationship with these women. Like, let me ask you guys this, and this is usually the point I bring up, okay? But if you have a woman who's been with like 45 different dudes throughout her lifetime, what do you guys think is the statistical probability of you being number 46 and it actually working out? It's not going to happen. There will be a number 47, there will be a number 48, and you'll just be another dude that she saw for a while. And that's it. So, you know, complete nonsense here.
It is these types of Western women who constantly complain about men and their dating preferences, but end up being massive hypocrites since they do the exact same thing.
Passport brain movement is more American male toxicity.
That made me decide to go to Italy today.
If you've ever been to the Balkans, you know what I'm talking about, and it's all men.
But yeah, you can't really expect that type of chivalry that I have found in other countries.
But it gets better when you listen to why she's doing it.
I do that for two reasons. Number one, physical. It's basic principles of attraction.
Yeah, no shit, lady. That's what men say. Younger women are hot. It's not rocket science. But somehow when men say this and date younger women, it's a problem and it's called exploitation. It's simply ridiculous. Now moving on to the 40-something party girl from Vegas who constantly switches between being okay and having a mental breakdown.
Why? Because I've been her.
So to set the scene here, she's in her 40s and she only dates younger men, which she really wants to make clear.
I'm dating a 24-year-old. And I'm 41.
I prefer to date younger men. I date younger men pretty much exclusively.
Okay, so we get it. She only dates younger men. So
isn't it crazy to think about, by the way, guys, that these women will go out here and give advice to other women about what kind of men they should be dating, what kind of things they should and shouldn't accept from men, blah, blah, blah. And then we had a woman earlier in the video saying that she experienced better levels of chivalry from men who were overseas. It's like, okay, if all of these things are so great, where is your marriage? You know, where are your kids and things like this? Why don't you have these things? Now, you might be asking yourself, well, isn't it true? Isn't the same thing true of men? And I'll explain why. I don't hold men to the same standard, and here's why. Getting married as a man is a complete and utter risk to men. I've said this on the channel many times, but it is a system that is designed to crush and steal from men and separate them from their children. So I don't think that a man's metric for success in terms of relationships, at least these days, relies on him getting married, because it's absolutely a risk. Now, I don't have anything against marriage, as it were. I think marriage is a great idea. But these days, it's just being used as a weapon against men. So I don't think it's a victory for men to be in a marriage and things like this. These women will get on here and say, oh, it's so great. These younger men are so fantastic. Okay, why don't you have a relationship with them? If it's going so successfully and your life is so happy, you know, your dating life is so fantastic, okay, just go with those other men then. Nobody's trying to force you to have a relationship with them.
And pretty much exclusively.
Okay, so we get it. She only dates younger men. So how is that working out?
Men are cowards. Men will meet the woman of their dreams, but because they're not willing to live up to her light or her standard or her whatever they perceive it to be, they will take advantage, they'll destroy her.
You are not the woman of these men's dreams. It's crazy to me, guys, how delusional this woman is. So she thinks that men are not taking her seriously because they're bad people, and they're not taking her seriously, despite the fact that she is apparently the woman of their dreams. These men are probably just trying to be nice to you. They're just telling you whatever it is they think you want to hear. If you were the woman of their dreams, they would happily have a relationship with you. But newsflash, you are not the woman of their dreams. Ergo, you are still single.
Was there really any other outcome here? I mean, let's face it, every single time we see a woman so adamant and so angry
What I want to know is, why do you care?
about how wonderful her life is and explaining to you that she's perfectly fine, then clearly that is not the case. But anyways, it's about to get a lot worse, since remember, she thinks that men are cowards for not committing to a woman, and she does not want to play games.
I love how she has the most ridiculous tags on her videos, by the way. Hashtag cats of TikTok. What did I tell you guys, by the way, about the cats? You think I'm joking about them? No, 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 no. The women, they collect the cats, okay? They build up a horde of cats over time.
I thought at this point he was done with these games.
Except, this is the same woman who was considering marrying a guy while she was already dating another guy for almost 2 years.
And Bo, who I've been dating since July of 2022, is almost 18 years younger than me, okay? So 2 weeks ago, on my birthday, I was proposed to by somebody that I've known since 9th grade.
Are you kidding me? So this woman talks about men playing games, is in a 2-year relationship.
We are still dating, I don't know what to tell you. We like each other. He's kind. He doesn't shut down and tell me that I'm crazy, like men my own age.
When she gets proposed to by another man.
You know what's so funny about this, right? Is the men your own age, they call you crazy because you are crazy. You know, these older dudes, they know when women are crazy, and they're just telling you how it is. I find that funny, guys, that men her own age are like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this nonsense. You're completely bonkers. And they'll just tell it to her face. I love how older dudes do this.
My own age.
When she gets proposed to by another man and she's seriously considering it.
Because my initial response was going to be like, okay, we can talk about this, we can negotiate our way into this, you know? He's a gorgeous man, he's a successful man, I care about this man.
Now mind you, this is not the 1950s anymore, and men are not just walking around proposing to every single woman. So you know a lot of went down before that dude was even considering a proposal.
I think he was Captain Simp. I think dudes who go out here and try and propose to these women are just asking for trouble. I don't think they have a lot of self-respect at all. I think these women are not good people because you don't end up in this situation as a woman if you don't have a whole bunch of red flags. Like, you have to seriously mistreat men in order to get to this age and still be single. You have to think that men are the problem. You have to think that the average man is below you. And you have to probably go through a couple of divorces or even have children and things like this before you even arrive at this particular situation. This is why I don't empathize with these women, guys. I don't think men should be marrying them at all. There's no upside for the man to be doing this.
A lot of went down before that dude was even considering a proposal. Plus, he actually believed she might say yes, which is what she was actually considering.
It caught me off guard, even though I kind of had a sense it was coming, I still wasn't like totally prepared. And so I told him, I was like, I really need to think about this. This is a really big deal.
This is why, guys, I and almost every creator in this space constantly says that marriage is dead. I made a video on divorce linked up here, showing how insanely biased the family courts are, and if you marry a woman like this, I guarantee you will experience that firsthand. Now obviously, this woman is broken beyond belief, but to prove that it wasn't men who broke her, I'll let her explain how this happened.
So here's the thing. I was raised by a mother who didn't want me. And so she spent my entire developmental years, like I'm gonna try and say this without crying, letting me know that I was a burden, to do things on my own, like she just, yeah, very dismissive of my entire existence.
It's crazy to me, man, how these people will post this stuff online, by the way. Like, they will have a bad family life, sure, or some bad things happen to them and things like this. I mean, number one, who hasn't had bad things happen to them? But the thing that separates these people from people who have some degree of sanity is the people who are sane don't post their personal problems on TikTok for the world to see. Again, I mentioned this in a previous video, guys, a very recent one that I recorded. But I know, for example, dudes who have been through some very horrendous things throughout their life, and you will never catch them posting TikTok videos about it because they don't want the attention. They don't, you know, they just get on with life. Yes, everybody has issues. They have a bunch of problems that they've overcome. Maybe they're still dealing with them, but they don't post it on TikTok because they have things to do. Nobody cares, and they don't want the attention. You know what I'm saying? But these women will just jump on here and talk about anything.
So I grew up with a belief system that nobody wanted me. That internal belief system has a way of rearing its ugly head. In fact, like, I was suicidal by the time I was 9.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. However, it is a great segue into our final and most disastrous situation of how older women are setting up their own daughters for failure in both dating and life in general.
Oh no.
Because this Karen, yep, her name is actually Karen, has a truly gorgeous daughter who seems very lovely and wholesome. And so you might think, hey, perfect wifey material, right? Well, hold on, because before you guys go off and find a woman just like this, let me remind you of something that Patrick Bet-David once said that really resonated with me since I actually lived this experience.
Who are the 5 friends you call after we have a terrible fight? So she gives me the names. Divorce. How about this one? Divorce. How about this one? Single. How about this one? Married. How about this one? Single. I said, you calling these guys? I said, you call these 5 people, guess who they're going to defend? She said, who? I said, you.
Yes, guys, I can't stress this enough. Before you commit to a woman, be really careful who her closest advisors are, since that will be your biggest problem going forward. And so when your girlfriend's mother is her bestie, who she runs to for advice, and that mother is batshit crazy or a jaded man-hater on a quest to find herself,
I am back. Back on here, back in the UK, and back to being the me before the trauma.
then yeah, you're going to have a horrible time. Now, as with everything in life, you will always find someone doing it bigger and better, and so when it comes to terrible mom advice and guidance, Beth here really takes the cake.
A lot of men over 50 said that they wanted much younger women. However, with years comes age, but also maturity.
Because while Beth was making over 1,000 TikToks instead of providing her daughter with solid advice and guidance, little Brenna over here was getting pumped and dumped raw at Northern University, Illinois, which obviously led to the one and only possible outcome: boom, big ol' belly. Now if you're thinking, well, maybe she met a nice guy, she fell in love, and they're going to form this nice little family and raise a bunch of kids.
Of course
no.
not.
This dude wants nothing to do with her or the kid, allegedly, because we can't really trust new mommies crying on TikToks, since we all remember Cake Mom.
I'm her ex-husband, and right now I have full custody of our kids. As you can see, I have all weekdays and weekends, and for her to get any rights back to the kids, these are the things that she needs to do. And yes, child support, she owes that. It's up to over $21,000, so...
Yeah, that got debunked real quick. But yeah, if true, Brenna got herself knocked up by some deadbeat who doesn't care about her at all and doesn't want anything to do with her child. Now mind you, I will always say, if it is your kid, take care of it fully. I mean, definitely get a paternity test, perhaps even 2, just to make sure. But if it is your baby, take care of the little fucker. Come on, it is your own flesh and blood. That means something.
Yeah, you know what the sad part is? I oftentimes think that these people's children don't actually mean a whole lot to them, because they'll go out here, they'll have the kid with some random dude. Maybe the dude sticks around or wants to but gets shoved out, or maybe he doesn't. But in any case, the child is the one who loses. It's incredibly sad. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.